It's the big one, Talladega. Here we go, running for the end of this round of the chase. And obviously, it's going to be, this one's going to be definitely difficult because of the fact that this race is going to be so dependent on where you can position yourself, especially now that they've patched the plate racing. It's just, this is going to be something. But thankfully, we're leading the chase after, spoiler alert, absolutely the closest race I've ever had in NASCAR Heat, which we lost, but we got second, and we're the first of the chasers, and none of the chasers have won a race in this round. So it's all good right now. But again, this is Talladega, and good things always seem to come to an end here. I'm actually kind of sad that this is no longer the end of a round of the chase, because that always leads to some spicy memes, as I just about completely had a heart attack there because somehow I almost crashed and didn't, and actually managed to not only that but actually maintain the draft, falling off the back of the pack and very nearly crashing, but we have the draft back somehow. I have no idea how I managed to do that, but here we go to the outside. This is what I used. I think maybe the first race I ran at Talladega was trying to go around the outside, and my car literally could not handle it. It tried to spin out. Now it doesn't do that, which is nice. But the pack is spreading out just a little bit. We're going to take a draft of McDowell there and pull around the outside of him relatively easily. Now back in the draft of Tony Stewart. And just try to pull around him. If we can do it. 3 wide to the outside. Ryan Ellis in a dustless blasting car, huh? That's an interesting paint scheme. Didn't even know that existed, but apparently it does, because Ryan Ellis is in it. And it looks like we're having troubles, problems, issues for somebody down at the bottom. It's Clint Boyer. So that's one chaser out of the running so far. And we're only 3 laps into the Talladega 499. We get a big draft off of AJ Humdinger right here. And it's funny, we're only running 51s in race conditions, and the pole time was a 50 flat from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Do the AI qualify without plates here? That's the only way I assume they can actually get that kind of a lap time. But anyway, we've got a draft off of Kyle Larson. We might actually lose this pack here. Let's see though. As we get down here into turn number 3, we're picking up a little sniff of draft. It's just kind of hard to get there, and now we're kind of getting there as we're getting sucked along by Larson. Of course, this is the fabulous 21st place that the rubber banding always seems to put you in NASCAR Heat. But again, they listened to my complaints, and supposedly it is completely gone. Confirmed by the devs. So, good. NASCAR Heat 2 really might end up being quite good. Because the 2 real bad things are the wonky collision physics and the rubber banding. And one of those things is gone, and the other thing might be gone. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. As we get a run on Truex here to the outside, we're going to try to get around. Thankfully, there's a lot of space here at Talladega, so we're able to kind of just hang it around the outside as Kenseth tries to kill Jimmy Johnson. It didn't quite happen, though. So we tried to kill Jamie Johnson. We've run our fastest lap of the race, but that means Jack Diddley squat in the grand scheme of things, and of course bump drafting doesn't work, so bye-bye Greg Biffle. You're driving too slow. And now we're all going to spread out down the back straightaway. Can Chase Elliott help me out a little bit with his draft? Not really. Not really. as we get underneath Jimmy the Juggernaut.
Still there.
And come on, come on.
Clear out.
Well, at least Jimmy fell backwards. And drafting right up behind Menard. And to the outside of Menard we go. And this is just one of those things where it's just like you're just waiting to pass these guys, because that's pretty much all you can do. Because it takes so long with the restrictor plates and everything the way it is. NASCAR Heat. Can we get to the outside of Blaney, the guy we raced with so hard with at... Oh, okay. Thanks for that. I guess apparently I raced him too hard at Kansas, because he did not like me going to his outside. And now he's going to make a move to the inside. And we're just going to have to follow him through down here on the bottom. We got a really great draft, but there's nowhere to go with it. But now we've got a draft of Edwards. And we should be able to sneak around the outside, I would think. But Blaney is down there and not ceding the position. So I guess this is where we're stuck. I guess we're stuck here, because we're not really going forward, not really going backwards. So we've got to time this move a little bit better, I guess. So in behind Blaney, and then we'll jump to the outside and try to catch the draft of Edwards and hopefully slingshot us around Blaney. And it's not quite working. We're going to really run close to Blaney there. Just trying to spoil his air just a little bit to get around him. It's not working yet. We got a car in the pits. That is Joey Logano. Why is he in the pits? Is it really? No, we're not even close to pit stops, right? I'm 6 laps ahead of everybody else. Are they pitting that? Are they seriously pitting that early? That's unbelievable to me if they're pitting that early. Okie dokie. I'll keep them in my thoughts, I guess. Alright, to the outside of Ryan Blaney, can we get him? No, because Carl Edwards is running an extremely low line down the back straightaway.
Stay hot. Still there.
And nothing doing because Blaney's just going to stay ahead. I'm suspecting, I forgot how this works in Talladega. Everybody pits early. So, yeah, we are going to move up quite a ways up the field, all the way up to second. The only driver not to pit is Brad Keselowski. So, I may be able to make the tires last the entire race, which would be very advantageous. And we can just do fuel only, at least for sure on this first stop. No reason not to. Tires are only at 75%, which is negligible wear, to be honest with you. Especially at a track like this where handling isn't necessarily the end-all be-all. And we are really actually catching Keselowski all the way down to 2.5, 2.4. He is slowing down dramatically. So he may have run out of fuel, for God's sakes. What is going on here? Yeah, he's going into the pits, but he's in trouble. He was in trouble there. So we have taken the lead, and now we're coming around to lap a significant portion of the field as they come back out onto the track. Hopefully not to LePage me. There we go. Driving around the outside and lapping cars all the way up to... Not sure what position that was because it went by so fast. I saw 27th. And now we're catching up to Casey Mears and actually drafting a little bit of Casey Mears. So wherever Casey Mears is, that's where we are. But we're 25 seconds ahead of Brad Keselowski and gaining significantly right now. So that's pretty cool, if I may say so myself. In fact, they're probably all in the pits. So it may be, yeah, Denny Hamlin just took second place. He's 37 seconds behind. So that is what a 4-tire pit stop and fuel will do to your lap time. It's a 37-second deficit. So that's our pit lane delta, to use an F1 term. Can you tell I've been playing a lot of F1 2017? I definitely need to start playing that for the channel here in the next few. And Casey Mears just cracked the wall in turn number 2. So is that going to bring out the yellow? Well, it'll certainly bring Casey Mears down the pit lane, that's for sure. And now we're drafting with Ryan Ellis, who has miraculously moved up to 20th position. Good for you, Ryan Ellis, in your new paint scheme. Doing an admirable job. It's still 36 seconds ahead of Denny Hamlin. And it's all good in the hood because, again, 36 seconds, I mean, despite the fact that we're losing a little bit, we're really not losing that much. As we really probably cut it too close to Ryan Ellis there. At least for my comfort level. 35 laps to go, and now the fuel alarm comes on, and it says 2 laps to go on the fuel. So we'll see when it switches to 1 lap. If it switches to 1 lap down the back straightaway, we're for sure coming in this time. But we might be able to keep it out 1 extra lap if it doesn't switch to 1 lap to go here. We're playing with fire doing this, but ultimately it may pay off. Still hasn't gone down to 1 lap. Still hasn't gone down to 1 lap. Still hasn't gone down to 1 lap. All we need to do is get to the pit entrance, to be honest with you. And still not to 1 lap. Okay, it's 1 lap there, so that's pretty close. But we're going to try to cut it close. We're going to cut it really close, actually. And Mears just came out of the pits. And but then again, we'll be lifting in turn 4, or at least off of turn 4, so it ain't going to be that bad. At least I don't think. As we get down the back straightaway here, the Alabama Gang back straightaway, as it's known. Actually, Talladega is one of the races I really want to make it to one of these days. I got to figure out a way to do it. I definitely want to be in the infield, though. That's where I want to watch the race. I want to watch Talladega from the infield. Screw the grandstands. As we get down here, lifting off the gas, bringing it down from 185 miles an hour.
Slow down.
All the way to 55. So fuel only, despite the fact that I'm adding a little bit of tape and taking some wedge out. Boy, howdy, do you go slow, Mr. Fueler. That is a slow, slow pit stop. 13 seconds is the estimate. Might as well have just gone for tires at that point, but here we go. Out of the pits. 13 seconds is all done and dusted. We've lost the lead, but that doesn't really matter because I think they're all going to pit anyway. So as long as we don't get smashed here, as we come back out of the pits, there goes Keselowski. Okay. We safely, fingers crossed, made it out. Okay. Made it out of the pits, and already in 10th place. There goes McFlurry down to the inside. Don't really need to worry about him too much. Again, we're on a completely different strategy already at this point. So, Hamlin is taking the lead by 10 seconds, but it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because he was probably 10 seconds ahead when he pitted the first time, and you saw how far that got him. So let's see when these leaders are going to come off into the pit lane, because that's really going to be determinant on where everything's going to end up shaking out here by the end of the race. So fuel is 13 laps left, probably going to be a little bit more than that by the end. So we're going to be about 10 laps to go, 12, 13 laps to go, something like that. That's terrible math, by the way. Kids, don't listen to David when it comes to math. And I think I see a car already dropping down low, which would indicate that he is coming into the pits, which is already the, we might be able to cut not only 1 stop off of the rest of the field, we may be able to cut 2 stops off of the field. And that is just, that is an invitation for a walloping. And indeed, we've got the car coming down the pit lane, and which car is it? Hard to tell at this point. It's Kyle Busch, or no, it's not Kyle Busch, it's Joey Logano. So Logano pits again. He was easily the first car to pit at the beginning of the race. So once again, Logano pits early, and we've just kind of settled in here to a decent pace. Seems like we are getting caught up a little bit by Carl Edwards and Ryan Blaney. But again, I'm not worried about it because I'm already seeing more cars peeling down low next to the yellow line, meaning they will be coming into the pits on this sequence. So right down next to the yellow line we go. And just kind of running it close. And there goes everybody down into the pits pretty much, aside from I think one car just out in front. And we're going to run right along the yellow line and go up to second place. So Keselowski once again takes the lead, but as we knew the last time, he darn near ran all the way out of gas. So it may be another situation where Keselowski runs out of fuel. Now, of course, he's gained 2 seconds on me from the last time we did this. Keselowski was actually like 2.8 ahead the last time, so he's actually gained 3 seconds in the pit stop sequence. But I think our next pit stop will be a little bit faster because I'm not going to make any adjustments, because screw that, there's literally no reason to. And again, we'll be able to stay on our tires because, again, the wear rate is so negligible that it doesn't matter at this track at all. So Keselowski's in the pits, certainly less slow than he came in the last time. We come into the lead and start to lap cars once again. And it's all those guys at the back, and gals. I guess we passed Danica Patrick. So the fuel numbers, 9 laps to go on fuel. Regan Smith is 10 seconds behind as the second place man at the moment. And is actually the second place man. For whatever reason, Regan Smith has stayed out. So good draft on Casey Kane here, who runs in 28th position. We had actually lapped up to 20th earlier. So actually we are falling back a little bit, but again, if we make one less pit stop than the rest of the field, we've completely won the day for sure. There's a lot of cars coming out of the pits now. And we're right, and never mind, we're right at 20th, where everybody is lapped. So Kane is 20th, and we've lapped up to 20th once again. So we're right where we were last time, so it's all good right now. But I would like to get around Casey Kane, so if we can side draft a little bit here. Well, that's not a side draft, that's literally just running into him. Let's not do that, shall we? To the outside, and Kane's going to keep in the bottom of the track. And now Hamlin is officially retaken second place, 29 seconds behind. So he's definitely gained about 10 seconds, but that was the lead he had the last time. So really he hasn't gained anything, to be honest with you. As we get around Regan Smith, and actually that's going to mean we've lapped up to 19th place. And the draft of Kane and I is actually catching Greg Biffle. I think that's Greg Biffle. Possible it's Carl Edwards, but I think it's Greg Biffle now that we start to come into focus a little bit better, focusing on the Smithfield for sure. Is the bump draft working at all? Well, we're up to 191, and that's as good as it's going to get. In the corners we fall off significantly. And actually we worked Kane up the track a little bit. Looked like more cars were peeling off. There's definitely a car low down there. But no more pit stops, at least right now. We have to come in 7 laps. 6 laps just the line. So we'll be coming in at lap 20. So my math was completely wrong. Completely wrong. Yes, we're definitely way too slow in the corners. So what I'm going to try to do is slip to the inside of Kane here. If we can. And try to get to the inside of him here in turn 3. It's not working yet. Gotta get a little sniff of draft here. Then dive to the inside. Can we pass Casey? Oh, we've got a yellow. Oh boy, that is gonna affect things quite a bit. Oh dear. Alright. Nobody else is pitting. Well, Joe Logano is pitting. I'm going to pit. Why did you do that, says you? Well, says me, I'm only an 18th. Now I've made what may have been the last stop of the race, or at least close to the last stop. And we're back to racing. So 22 laps to go. And the fuel, if we look at it, we're going to find the menu. 13 laps. So we've got one more stop to make. Pretty much everybody's got one more stop to make. But we can do a splash and dash. They cannot. So that's where we are. As we get back to the green and start to run once again in the plate pack. Looks like Trevor Bain's in a different paint scheme. Interesting. Haven't seen that, or just noticed that, I should say, all day. So we get a really good run here. Outside is not really the best place to be. We really should be on the inside. 3 wide, okay. Well, we're getting a run on the Smithfield car. So I guess that will help as we just are on our own, but Carl Edwards decided to be a bro and help me out a little bit. And now a really good run into turn 1. In fact, we pinched Paul Menard just a little bit there. And really tried to pinch Casey Kane. I'm glad the spotter told me to hold my line because otherwise it would have been a horrible accident. Down to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. No yellow line rule here. We're back in 2001. So, whatever, we're playing by 2001 rules, I guess. And underneath the Advo Strong car. Oh dear, I thought the Strong meme was done. But I guess it's not. Well, we're coming up to the front of the pack here, and we may actually take the lead of the pack. We're going to try. I don't know who's leading. Let's get the whole leaderboard up here. Maybe Hamlin. Hamlin seems to have the dominant car today. But boy, we are getting a really good run. 195 into turn 1. And underneath Blaney and Keselowski we go. And yes, it is Hamlin up front, I believe. And through the middle we will go of Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick. The war of words between them was raging a couple weeks ago in real life. Of course, if you're watching this in like 2020, you won't know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you will. Maybe that was like the seminal moment in NASCAR when Kevin Harvick talked a little bit of crap about Dale Jr. on his radio show. I don't know. I don't know. So to the outside of Kurt Busch, can we get there? Can't quite do it. Can't quite do it. Cars are all trying to battle each other at the front of the pack. But again, we need to start getting in line here. I kind of made a mistake by going to the outside, I think, because it's going to allow Keselowski for sure down to the inside. And we're just not good on our own. And everybody's down to the bottom, so they are probably all pitting. So once again, we're going to have some stops. It looks like Dale Jr. may be staying out, so and possibly Keselowski. So let's get behind Keselowski here. Try to get some draft here. And I'm not talking about Miller Lite on draft. I'm talking about the airflow in front of him. So here we go. Leader's coming into the pits, and Keselowski is not. And Austin Dillon is in a pink car, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, to say the least. Alright, so here we go. In behind Keselowski. The battle for the lead. This is reminding me exactly of what happened at Kansas, to be honest with you. And it's going to be a splash and dash for us at the end. Probably just one can of fuel will do it. Possibly a half can. It definitely looks like Keselowski is coming in this time around. So it's going to leave it completely open for us to lead this race here near the end, not completely at the end. It's going to put us in a good position, that's for sure. As we draft Keselowski, he's going to peel off into the pits surely. And there he goes. So into the lead we go once again. And now we start looking at the fuel mileage. 9 laps to go on the fuel as we cross the line. 17 laps to go in the race. So we'll have to pit, and we'll need 10 laps of fuel. So I'm trying to figure out in my head the best way to do this. May be that we may need 1.5 cans of fuel. I don't like the idea of chancing it. We'll see. If it's 10 laps to go, like it's looking like it will be, we're definitely going to go with a 1.5 cans just to kind of keep it safe and on the straight and narrow. But if it's less than 10 laps to go when we get when we have to come in, then I could be convinced or convince myself to go with only 1 can of fuel. But again, the last thing I want to do is run out and give up what may be like a 5th place and really screw myself, as retired Scott almost LePages me. He didn't quite. As Truex is going to get held up by Labonte, and that's going to allow us to hopefully draft and pass him. As it looks like really the pack is forming up again down the back straightaway. A lot of cars are back here. But this is really good. This is actually really good for us. The fact that we're in Truex's draft and able to draft up with him. Because it means that we're going to be able to just maintain pace. Not just be by ourselves and really slow. We're able to maintain pack speed by just staying in the draft here. So down through the tri-oval, more cars coming out of the pits. We'll see what Truex decides to do. I may need to bail out from him because I'm not sure if he's going to try to get in behind these guys. No, he's not. Smart move. Clever girl. Then I completely decided to screw up down the back straightaway, or in turn 2, and lost some positioning there. So we're just going to continue in the draft. The controller is still vibrating, so we're still good in terms of draft with Truex. Car just continue. Come on, keep picking up RPMs. We need to stay with the pack here at all costs, as best we can. 190. Should be at 195. Hopefully we can get a good enough draft to do that. 193. Not quite. Not quite. The car looking like it's kind of going slow here in the middle of the pack. It's possibly a car that came out of the pit. So we got a big old pack that is formed up here. Well, this is pretty much pack racing right here. It just takes a couple cars coming out of the pits to create it. As we just go 3 wide under a couple lap cars there. Again, just keep it in the draft. That's all we need to do for these next 5 laps here. So move to the outside. Everybody's fanning out quite a bit. Probably went too high to the outside because Truex actually took the line I was going for. Because he's able to sneak up in that. Whoa, David Reagan. Everybody's a little aggro right now, it seems. Of course, this is the chase race before the cutoff, so I imagine that these guys, especially Truex and Harvick, who I believe are in the chase hunt and trying to get in, are not too happy with being trapped in the pack right now. As I really make a good move, but I have to lift off because there's really nowhere to go.
You're 3 wide.
Yes, I'm fully aware, Spotter. I'm fully aware. Well, we got around a couple cars. Now just behind Mears, now getting a draft off of McDowell. It's going to help me around the outside, maybe. Well, yeah, I'm trapped on the outside. That's not where I want to be. Okay, alright. Casey Mears just shoved me in the wall for absolutely no reason. There's a car in trouble. Ryan Newman. Believe that is a chaser. So Ryan Newman in trouble. Causing trouble. Causing problems. Well, we don't want to be on the outside anymore. I figured that much out. Let's get a really good draft on Harvick here. As he's being drafted by other cars, or getting drafted by other cars. 196 miles an hour down into turn 3. It's respectable. Of course, that's what guys can do, in single car qualifying in real life, but who's counting? As we just run in the draft here. Down to the inside, because that's where we need to be. It's a little bit faster lane, especially with Harvick down there. And now we're going to make it 3 wide into turn number 1. This is probably ill-advised, but screw it.
Stay low. Still there.
Yes, very nice, very nice. And actually, we sprung Harvick, so Harvick can actually pull around us again. Well, maybe. We're going to go 3 wide. There's enough room to do it here at Talladega, though, so that's good. And Smith is just going to go really slowly. It looks like Harvick and somebody else are hooking up at the top.
Hold your line.
Well, maybe. Nope, it was just Harvick. Thought I saw another car. Apparently it wasn't another car. It was all in my imagination. So 2 laps to go on the fuel. We should be getting a fuel arm very shortly. We've lapped all the way up to 14th, so really this is not bad at all in terms of where we are.
10 laps to go.
There it is, 10 laps to go.
Still there.
Well, right where I thought we'd be.
You're low on fuel.
Right where I thought we'd be. So we got a fuel arm now.
Carlo, all clear.
Ooh. Holy cow. Okay, that was a wee bit scary, if I may do say so myself. And yes, it's gone down to 1 lap, so we will be coming in this time. I was definitely coming in anyway, because good grief, I need a new pair of pants after that one. Yeah, that was a little close. Okay, so lifting off the gas.
You're low on fuel.
On the brakes, just get her slowed down. All we need to do, get her slowed down. There we go, into the pits we go. Okay, I'm gonna go with 1 can of fuel. I feel like this is may be a mistake. It may be cutting it way too close, but we're making up such good time. We'll just have to see what the fuel numbers say. 8 laps, and there's 9 to go. Oh no. Well, I don't need to look at that anymore. I do not need to look at that anymore. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting, because here comes Keselowski, a big run. Nothing I could do about that one. He is just gone. I tried to block him, so ooh, this is potentially not very good. We'll see how slow he is, though. Keselowski's pretty slow by himself, if I remember correctly, at least from the last time.
The leader's going into the pit.
And Keselowski is pitting. Okay. So everybody's pitting again. So I really could have done one. Oh boy. Well, I don't know what to do now. 7 laps of fuel. I wish I knew what the clutch was. I need to stop looking at that, because that's not being helpful, looking at that. Well, we still got a 10-second lead. If everybody else pits, and we still have to pit one more time for a splash of fuel at the end of this thing, and it's still, we've still essentially got it in the bag, essentially. 6 laps to go on the fuel. Oh, did I throw away another race win? Did I throw away another race win? This is going to be very upsetting if I threw one away. That's for sure. And it looks like there's some smoke up there. 7 laps to go, 6 on the fuel. No yellow, though. Not going to get that lucky, I don't think. We're going to have to deal with it. Also, what's the tire situation looking like? That's fine. Oh, I guess the rear right is gone. How is that a tire that wears? That's very weird. I think we will be able to pretty easily make it to the end, I think, though, on those tires. I'm not concerned about the tires, even though they are feeling, the car's feeling a little bit loose. But, you know, that's the least of my concerns right now, is the car being loose on a plate track, because we got 5 laps of fuel, and we're coming up to, I believe, 6 laps to go. So I don't think the fuel saving is going to be particularly where I need it to be. We'll see. 6 laps to go, 5 laps of fuel. No, neighborino. That's not going to be good. See, it'd be nice if you could do like a timed pit stop, because you could just have the, like what they do with the fueler and the sticks, just tap them on the back with a stick. But yeah, so Keselowski is 34.7 behind. Well, we got to stay out. We've made our bed. We've got to lie in. We've got to stay out at least until the last lap, and then just. And there is the yellow. There is that. Okay. Well, we're gonna save fuel under yellow. I think we're gonna save probably enough to be able to make it to the end. I would guess. Let's see how many cars are pitting. There's 19 cars on the lead lap. Should I pit? I've only got 5 seconds to decide. I'm gonna pit. Well, the reason I made the pit stop was because I need fresh tires if I'm gonna duel with these guys on the restart. Obviously, I need maybe a little bit more fuel. But, you know, obviously the amount of cars in the lead lap, it made sense to do this. So it's going to be a plate race. It's going to be an actual plate race to win, to finish this thing. So this is going to be crazy, to say the least. This is actually going to feel like a Talladega finish here at the end. How far can we get up the field? You may hear a little bit of concern in my voice for how this is going to go. It looks like there's some damaged cars in the mix here. I saw Eric Jones had some damage, and definitely the 13 car of Casey Mears has some damage. There's Hamlin, who dominated the race. He's back here in the serial.
Hold your line.
So again, we just need to keep her together here. As we've got Hamlin moving to the outside, so Mears is really slow. That is not helping the situation at all. So we'll get in behind Hamlin here. Hopefully he can slingshot us around some of these guys. Or at least we can get a run down the back straightaway here. Where can we go to get a decent run? Everybody's kind of going slow. There's nowhere to go. Oh, plate racing is fun. Okay. Well, 4 wide? Okay. It's not really what I wanted to do. No, that's 4 wide, sir. And now the bottom lane opens up. It allows some cars to get around and get a run. But obviously, a long way to go to the start-finish line from here. Well, it's going to be a top 10, and it should be more than enough to get us into the next round, despite not winning a race. So, 10th place. Keselowski ended up taking the victory. It seemed he just had a better strategy. Like I said, I think some people are going to yell at me in the comments, why did you pit? Again, tires. The race, the moves I was making there, 4 wide, 3 wide, would not have worked on the tires I was running at that moment. So, again, I think I made the correct strategy call, especially considering the chase implications, as Rick Allen would say. Money-wise, I think we did pretty good. We didn't do as well as I would have hoped. We took in, well, we got the most laps led, which is a nice little payday, and 10th place as well. So we brought home $500,000, not as quite as good, or 600,000 really. Not as good as the last race, but pretty good, all things considered. And in terms of the chase, we should be easy, good. Oh yeah, we're still the points leader, actually. And actually, Keselowski was eliminated, so nobody won a race. No chaser won a race in the round of 12. Wow. Okay, that's a thing. Well, the guys who got eliminated were Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Carl Edwards, old cousin Carl, and old Clint Bowyer. Well, shoot, everybody who likes those guys is going to be very upset. But Dale Jr. moves on, so there you go. Jamie McFlurry too. That's crazy. So let's head back to the race shop, see if there's anything else to take a look at, and finish up a crazy race at Talladega. So from Talladega, we're going to move on to Martinsville for the first round of the round of 8. Martinsville, that's definitely one I think I can have a good shot at. We'll see if I can win it. Obviously, being a short track, you'd think it is, but again, there's some trouble and problems with the lap cars at that race, so it's going to be another one you guys are going to want to watch. Martinsville. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and I just need to look at this one more time, because we are, well, Busch is leading because of alphabetical, I think, but we were leading the points for a little while. So we'll see if we can get to Homestead, and that path starts in Martinsville. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't say that enough. We'll see you in the next video.